Very good evening to everyone. It's always that KSCASI webinar means always everybody thinks of academics, case presentations, skill-based workshops, something like that. But today we have here for something which is other than academics. So that is passion other than surgery. That surgeon doesn't mean that always do surgery only. We have people who does other things other than surgery also. I welcome all the members of KCASI to this webinar. I also welcome our immediate past ASI president, Dr. Siddesh sir, and all the other members, even people who have logged in on YouTube also. I welcome everyone. And I request our chairman, Dr. H.V. Shivram's to give the welcome address.
Thank you, Dr. Chandrasekhar. It's very amazing to see how many people have logged in and also in the YouTube. And I welcome you all for this very passionate and amazing webinar, which is the passion other than surgery. So it is very heartwarming to see the surgeons are doing so many other things very passionately, not only the surgery and other adventurous things also. I welcome all of you, especially the presenters, and Dr. Rajshekhar Jaka is an excellent moderator. He will take over from now on. Enjoy. Please mute yourself whenever you're presenting or talking. At that time only, please unmute and please put all your comments, appreciations, questions, everything in the chat box. That will be answered, and enjoy the session. Thank you so much. Rajshekhar, to you.
Thank you so much, sir. It is going to be very entertaining, fun-filled, and really motivating. Why we are so much concerned about passion? How it is important? It is important for success because it fuels our motivation. It boosts your focus, and it gives you more creative way, and you will be more happier. And passion attracts other passionate people, and it will cause less stress, and passion equips with you positive attitudes. So with this initiation, I would start this session, and I request our Dr. C G Narasimhan, past chairman of KSCASI 2004 from Mysore, to speak on networking of different strokes at 83. He is our senior most surgeon. Sir, over to you. Please start.
Martin, you have to share his. Dr. Narasimhan is there? Sir? Okay, he has not yet joined, I think. You can go to the next.
Yes. We will go to our next speaker until Dr. C. Narasimhan joins. I would call upon Dr. Sharath Tanga, our past chairman in 2010 and 11 from Kalburgi. Writing is sharing and leadership is his topic. Over to you, sir.
Yes.
Dr. Sharath?
Yes. Yeah, I am muted. Good evening, everyone. Thoughtful chairman, Dr. Shivram, dynamic moderator and honorary treasurer, Dr. Rajshekhar Jaka, honorary secretary, Dr. Chandrasekhar, chairman-elect, Dr. Hepsur, and my fellow ASI members. Now, passion is one thing which someone has a love for. It is a deep love, and then it is lasting for a longer time. There's a period of consistency associated with it, and you get better or you are better at it. So with me, my journey with writing in the published on the mass media started with Indian Express as a letter to editor. My first article got published in 1989 as letter to editor, which was from the JJL Medical College, Davangere, Boys Hostel. The other spectrum of my activity involves letter to editor in the form of activism. Then I graduated to be columnist. in the then erstwhile Health Vijay Times as a Health Wealth the column. When that paper shut down, then I was looking for opportunity, and then I shifted or harnessed the power of social media. There, I used Facebook as one of the platforms to express my non-fictional writing. Now, why do I write? It has twin aims. One is a purposeful writing, and it is fulfilling. It is fulfilling to me. Yes, I hear that the recording has been stopped. Just as a feedback. And the next is now this I use this platform as an extension of my purposeful sharing, which in a loose term, informal thing can be called as teaching. For the public, this media was used for the public on a mass scale. For me, it is a way of giving. It is a way of expression of gratitude for the unsung heroes, low profile people. It could be family members, friends, associates, and society at large. Often, we tend to appreciate only as the obituary. My intention has always been that they should be appreciated when they're alive, which stands as a motivation for them to work more. And in the process, I make an attempt to amplify the upright and efficient people. Lastly, we all know that the printed material rather leaves behind its footprints. Now we have the digital media print. Now, with me, as an anecdotal experience, let me share. I wrote an article on plastic hazard sometime in early 2000s. 15 years later, 2 to 3 people recapitulate that article. One among them came to me saying that, why I read your article on plastics, why don't you come and talk to our NGO organization? So that much is the lasting legacy in a short period. We all know what is the legacy a written word has. I don't need to elaborate on that. So the next platform which you can use is also a writing, letter writing. Now, often, let me quote another anecdotal example. I wrote in a letter to then Union Minister Sri Anand Kumar, seeking a MLC nomination. Thereafter, after some time, I met him. The first word he uttered was, "I have read your letter completely." That is the impact a concise and precise letter can have. In the present days, when the attention span is decreasing, the listening capacity is reducing. Even letter as a form of writing can have its impact. There is obviously a retention value for it. I know people who have retained my writings and letters, and it has a long lasting. Now, another platform which we often have, we think it is a frivolous platform, that is WhatsApp and Twitter. If used purposefully, even that platform can be harnessed. The reach of that is mind-boggling. Now, sorry. Right? Sorry. All right. Now, coming to the nuggets, which I finished in the time. It's a trying and laborious art form. One is suggested to be authentic, avoid being preachy and pushy. And when we are using a social media platform for sharing our views, the checklist could be, is it true? Is it within culturally acceptable limits? And it is better to avoid political and religious content. Now, let us go on to what Dr. Atul Gawande suggested in his book, Better. He suggested to choose your audience. Just write something. You need not achieve perfection. Only needs to add some observation about your world. Then finally, don't underestimate the effect of your contribution, however modest it could be. Lastly, act of writing itself is a
out of time, sir.
Yes, catalytic process that instills clarity and keeps the individual. Thank you one and all for the patient here.
Thank you so much, sir. I know you have written voraciously at so many platforms, including newspapers and Facebooks and all that. They're so valuable to the youngsters and juniors, which convey a lot of message. Thank you so much, sir.
Dr. Jaka, I am ready.
Yeah. Now I will call upon Dr. C G Narasimhan, our past chairman from Mysore, to speak on networking of different strokes at 83. Please.
Am I seen there now? Good. Good. Thank you. Thank you all, and good evening to everybody there. Though
Good evening, sir.
Hello?
Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening, good evening. Hello, good evening. This is not my first, please project my first slide, please. This is second one. This is second one. No, I think something wrong. No, this is not even. This is no, sir. No, sir. No. You are mixed up. No.
Sir, you please continue.
No, I can't. Without this slide, I don't think I can continue. You have mixed up the entire slides. The sequence which I have given. This is not the sequence which I had given. You please try again. Go back. Go back. No. One more, I think.
Sir,
I think you have taken.
We had only 4.
I understand, but you are. I think I sent a second set of slides. You see, these are the old ones which I have, which you are showing there. In any case, I think
we will continue with this.
Okay, let me continue with this. Well, this is the picture of my. This was a picture which was taken some nearly 68 years ago in the fort city of Chitradurga those days, and these are my classmates who have been who were there, and I could connect it with by internet and by somehow and with my networking, and I was able to even arrange a get together in Chitradurga for all these people about 5 or 6 years back. At the bottom of that, the photo, is that is of my batchmates who joined medical college in 1957, MBBS to Mysore Medical College, and they're spread all over the globe, you see. And I was able to catch them, and then by using networking, network, and I was able to arrange a very nicely arranged get together. We called it a 50th year get together of Swarna Milana. Okay, right. Let me go to the next slide then. Yeah, this is a picture of my photo exhibition of my general and clinical photography, which was arranged in the year 2003, and it was inaugurated and at the same time appreciated by the photojournalist, Mr. Satyan he is also a Padma awardee. Yes, let me go to the next one then. Yeah, this is a very the picture of Shushruta, and I had to do a lot of networking for this to get this done, and I had to contact the best of the sculptor of the whole of India, and I had to you had to decide upon the selection of the stone, size and design of the statue, and also at the same time obtaining permission from the Mysore Medical College, and we were able to do it. I was able to certainly do it, and it was unveiled exactly just about a month back by none other than Dr. G.N. Narayan Reddy, a former director of NIMHANS, and he was so kind enough to come. He is the oldest student of Mysore Medical College of the age of 93 years. Okay, Right. Well, next one, please. Yeah, this is another thing which we are being very passionate of Carnatic and Hindustani music. I have been associated with a very famous, music organization called Gana Bharati in Mysore, and networking again with my friends and donors and MLAs and MPs, I could raise a sizable amount of more than 2 crores and build a beautifully acoustically treated auditorium. And I was so happy that and in fact quite satisfied at the same time for doing something useful to the society. Youngsters may be interested to know that I am learning Hindustani music now well past 80 years and continuing the same passion even today. And the last one to and the bottom picture is the family of the royal family of Mysore, who have been
You're running out of
associated
time,
with
sir.
our. Hello.
You are running out
Yeah.
of time, sir.
Yeah, and last one, let me just advise to the young surgeons. As surgeons, one has to have developed some hobbies to annul the professional stress. At this age of mine, apart from the hobbies mentioned earlier, and the hobbies which have been kept me going at this age are gardening, swimming, and philately. I have a rich collection of the first day covers and more than 100-year-old of postal materials. Thank you all very much. All the best. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. You are being the now our eldermost at 83, and you have chosen the topic also same, networking of different strokes at 83. It was very glad to hear from you, and even installing the Sushruta in Mysore Medical College. Thank you for your contribution, sir. Now we will move on to our next speaker, Dr. Siddesh. Everyone knows about him. He's our past president ASI. Dr. Siddesh, please, over to you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
And can you see my slides, please?
Yes, we can see you.
Yes. Thank you for the opportunity. Without wasting time, I know that a lot of speakers. Let me get on with my presentation. My presentation would be on visit to nature. It has plenty to give. My slides doesn't seem to be moving. Let me see. Seem to be something. No?
Sir, just click on this slide, sir. Just click on this slide. Then it will
Is
move.
it so?
Yeah, just click on this.
It's not working, boss. Yeah. Thank you.
Ah.
So my basic instinct to love towards nature was derived way back in my childhood when I joined scouting in 5th standard and went ahead to receive award as a leader in 72 from the then president V.V. Giri, and went ahead to represent India in the international camp at Arctic Crimea in 73. I pursued the love towards trekking, camping, mountaineering, etc. till in 1975 when I joined medicine, and I had to forcefully stop all these passion and what I like to do. But you believe it to me or not, it is only in the year 2016 when I resigned from JSS Medical College, I had a chance to revisit my passion. That the best way to do it was, I thought, was farming, which is the way my forefathers did for livelihood and plantation. And it is anyone's guess, looking at these bright colors of vegetables or the succulent fruits and the fully bloomed flowers kept me going all these years ever since when I have started this practicing this passion. It all started in the year 2016 when I visited this piece of land next to River Kabini, where it was totally in a neglected state. You can see the thorny bushes and weeds grown twice my height, and it was hardly difficult to enter the field. But my decision to take this land was made moment I came across this old small temple housing Lord Lakshmi Narayana with Lord in a very dilapidated state. You can see that, and with lot of beer bottles and cards thrown around this on the riverside. And that's what made me to take this decision. Moment I took possession of this land, we started cleaning up the land using JCP and did plowing of the land. And in a natural way to refertilize the land, we planted legumes and we started planting samples. And in this case, you can see collection of areca nut trees. Over a course of years now, if I look back, the path which I have chosen obviously is not wrong. You will agree with me again. In a lower lying land neighboring, which had abundant water supply, water resource, I decided to grow paddy. Twice a year it was possible, and there is no match to this joy of joining hands with the workforce, and it also is motivating to them. And the bounty of harvest is most satisfying of the hard work of more than 3.5 months. And nothing more than that would be these glimpses of pictures. If you are careful enough and you have inclination to capture them, they can be a valuable piece of wall hangings with you. That is what nature has got to give you. And with a lot of greenery around, we felt we could house few livestock, and it has its own positive side effects. You see the two lovely pair of male calves, which are very fast growing. They are born with us and they are going very fast, much to my liking. And my other passion is to plant as many trees possible, which I do every year around my birthday, which is coinciding with the World Environmental Day and the onset of monsoon. And a minimum of 100 trees, which I aim to plant every year. And at one stage, in the beginning, I even planted, we crossed a mark of 1,000. And you see the various stages of the growth of these plants. It is nothing but most satisfying to look at them. My friend once told, looking at this teak plantation, told they are always for only your grandchildren. So, well, you will all agree with me. It's not just the material returns what we are looking at when you involve in such activities. And at the same time, we need to look up some growing some cash crops like these banana, which has a bounty of yield if you're lucky. At the same time, if you scientifically design, the intermediate crop is more yielding if you are lucky again or blessed. Look at the fully bloomed mango trees. But what is amazing for me is the immediately neighboring tree does not even have one flower in it. Only nature knows why. I go nuts to look at the harvest from high up in the sky or under the ground. To spice it up a bit, I have grown sometimes even green chilies. Everything is green, it need not be always rosy. There are insects, fungi, viruses, and the onslaught by wild guinea pigs, wild pigs, as well as peacocks, which can spoil your show. But with scientific planning, we can always meet these challenges. But what is most challenging, what I have learned over the course of years, is the managing of human resource. But end of the day, till now, I always look at my progress with a lot of joy, like I feel after bungee jumping like this. But if anyone asks me, how much have you earned out of these exercise for the last 7-8 years? I would better hide my face than telling the real truth. But I will continue with all these ups and downs, like this, what I did in the last birthday of mine. So with a lot of joy. I have learned of late another art of preparing cocktails, which I mastered in the pre-time of COVID, which I'm very happy to host each one of you on your visit. I pray at this moment, the Lord Lakshmi Narayana, you can look at him with awe and reverence when he is fully decorated. I can't take my eyes off him. And I pray him to bless all of us and those who have contributed along with me in my farm to and their families with a lot of health and happiness. Thank you very much for this opportunity again.
Thank you so much, sir. Being a ASI president, we always thought you are very busy in only practice. but you have taught us even agriculture, the basic thing, the highest respect a farmer gets in our country. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for enlightening us with that.
Thank you. I hope I have finished it in time, because Shivram, I'm afraid he has always been on a watch on time, I could see. Thank you.
It was nice. We will go to our next speaker, who is our very senior surgeon and very active role in every some event. Dr. K. Lakshman from Bangalore, who will be speaking on off-road driving. Can I request Dr. Lakshman sir to take over, please?
Thank you. Good evening. I presume you can see my screen and hear me, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir.
First of all, thank you, KSCASI, for giving me this opportunity. I must also congratulate Dr. Shivram and the committee for this excellent thought of bringing to the fore some of the non-surgical activities of surgeons. I'm talking about off-road driving today. Being in the midst of tall mountains, deep valleys, lovely rivers and lakes is something which is exhilarating and relaxing at the same time. The only way to reach these areas is either by foot with a trekking exercise, or by this process of off-road driving, where we use vehicles almost always with 4x4 facility, and go on unpaved surfaces and even drive through riverbeds. We undertook one such a couple of years ago in Arunachal, and we went from the western Arunachal city of Pasighat and reached the southeastern part, which is bordering Burma, a place called Vijayanagar, and reached the northeasternmost, it's the easternmost village of India, a place called Kaho. It took us 12 days and we did 1,200 kilometers. As I said, these 4x4 Mahindra Thars, we had 3 of them, and we had 2 of the Fortuners, Toyota Fortuners 4x4. These are really beasts of machines. And when you engage the 4x4 gear and start the process of using it on difficult terrain, the control that you have and the confidence that you get even on the most slippery and slushy roads is something which is unbelievable. Apart from the experience and the thrill of using the machine, I find that I learn a lot of life lessons which can be directly extrapolated to our lives as surgeons when we undertake these treks and these kinds of group activity. First of all, it tells you the value of teamwork. There is no competition. You're helping each other to achieve the best, and all of us in the team either win or lose, and take both with equanimity. The terrain and the area that you visit definitely enforces the concept of simplicity in life. Once you go to areas where you have no electricity, no running water, no toilet facilities, and perhaps a tent or the most basic of a village accommodation, you understand what simplicity is and how blessed we are sitting in these cities with all the latest facilities. And I cannot but think that we should be very grateful for what we have, and we should really stop cribbing about the little things that we face in our cities. It really fosters friendship, very important part in a surgeon's life. This young man, Manjunath, he was my partner in crime during that trip. He was my young anesthetic colleague. On days we had camping on beautiful locales in the river sides, and we learned the art of zero residue camping, which is a very essential thing for environmental maintenance. Night driving is a big challenge. You are going up and you cannot see the road in front of you. Sometimes your co-driver has to hang his head out and tell you which way to go. It is also a great motivation for fitness, and automatically you have the discipline of getting up in time, doing things automatically. And when you want to be fit, you will always keep an eye on your diet and Each time I plan a trip like this, I do one almost every year. I have at least 3 or 4 months of very disciplined living. And it also induces humility and gratitude and the concept of interdependence. There is nothing like independence in these things. And the highlight of this is essentially driving through rivers. It is an experience that cannot be described, but can only be experienced and felt and enjoyed. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, sir. You are always known as a very good teacher and a very disciplined person, but today we could see your great adventure. I think so many youngsters will learn from you. So passionate about it. Thank you so much, sir. And also you finished within the time frame. Thank you so much. We will call upon our next speaker, very well known to all the surgical community, Dr. Rajgopal Shanai, professor of KSCASI Mangalore, who is also EC member in ASI, to speak on singing and chess. Sir, over to you, Dr. Rajgopal Shanai.
Yes. Can you see my slide?
Yes, Rajgopal.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity, and very different kind of a passion, you have to speak. No doubt, this for a surgeon, passion is a surgery, and in fact, in a medical college, it has to be teaching. We have so many of those passion or hobbies you have, but I have chosen 2 things here, that is singing and chess. These are the 2 of my, I will call it as a passion. That's my, of course, the family you saw. Basically, we'll start with the chess. I am a chess player, but now I am more for promotion, encouraging, and funding. Yes, we have a beautiful slogan: winners never quit and quitters never win. This is an important message I always tell to everyone. So basically, we started with the chess learned from my father. I am not the person who went to any coaching centers. Later, of course, we developed in Ballari. Then, of course, I was champion there. And then, of course, under the teachers category, as I climbed up the ladder. And then later, we family members, we started one tournament in my father's name, which has been going on in our area. And I'm promoting the chess in our region for last almost 3 decades. Encourage the young to come up. Many of our people from our students have participated in the national chess tournaments also. And chess coaching we do in my house basement. As a president of Udupi District Chess Association, conducted almost more than 100 tournaments. And of course, there is a pressure to become the president, but because I am here and I cannot take the responsibility, as of today, I am the honorary president of Karnataka Chess Association. Yes, these are some of my, this is my younger college day. And of course, this is later as I climbed up the ladder. So in my father's name, Kalya Devarashani Memorial Chess Tournament, as you can see here, it's a great, the satisfaction you get when you encourage the students and children, all categories under 5, 7, 9, 11, 15, like that, girls and boys separate category. You can see here, myself here, and that is what gives the maximum satisfaction. Now, yes, ably supported, of course, my mother is not there now, but she was very actively involved in all these activities whenever we conduct the chess tournament. And in my institution, if you see here, National FIDE and National Blind Chess, and this IBCA is nothing but International Braille Chess Association. From there, we have conducted a Braille Chess Asiad in Manipal. First time in the history of Karnataka. And you can see that the Charudatta Jadhav is the president of this, totally blind, but they play better chess than all of us. Of course, that time our superintendent of police was Annamalai in that time in Manipal. If you see recently, Chess Olympiad, that torch was brought from Chennai to Mangalore. I was here, and 2 grandmasters from Karnataka. Tej Kumar from Mysore and Stanley from Shimoga. Now coming back to singing, this I learned from my gurus in childhood. That's me in Ballari. And, I always keep some time to myself, not only singing, and it should be silent listener too. My morning starts with the bhajans and end with the Hindi old song. I like Kannada and Hindi melodious, rather any language, in fact, I can listen. And I, of course, sing with the karaoke tracks. Yes, we have collected innumerable CDs, cassettes, tapes, etc., etc., etc. And now the fate of those CDs always, always wife scolds you. Why did you collect? This is what happens. But then important thing is a hobby to keep yourself cool, calm, and as a special singing for me, Ballari, I got a gift. That is my wife. I always tell that I got my life and wife from Ballari. This is typical, Ballari days. And I said, I start with the Alexa, with the good morning, with any song you want, bhajans here, whether it's a Bhim Singh Joshi, everything, end with the caravan of carrying more than 60,000 old songs here. So, and YouTube, of course, recently, during the COVID time, there was a pressure for me to, give some kind of a calm and things to my family and hospital nurses or whoever it is. I started singing, suggestion given by Shivaram to put it in YouTube, and that's what happened. And this is how it is. I have also, encouraged my daughters to sing. This is the 2001 old song, Sau Saal Pehle duet, and this is during the COVID time. And I have got I'm not a great singer, but it's a hobby and a passion. Thank you very much for patient hearing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir, for presenting, because everyone across Karnataka or across India knows, as a young budding surgeon, must have read your book. But we know why your brain is so sharp now, playing chess and relaxing and speaking out your heart with the singing. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your enlightenment. Yeah, we will move on to our next speaker, who is also our past chairman of state chapter in 2018-19 from Chikkodi, Dr. Dayanand Nuli. He will be speaking on writing books in Kannada. Sir, over to you, Dr. Dayanand Nuli.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Passion other than surgery. Next slide, please. What is passion? The Webster Dictionary says a strong liking or a desire for devotion to some activity. That is the dictionary meaning. Passion is, hello, don't move so fast. Passion is an intense emotion, a compelling enthusiasm or desire for something. Next. So we should define what is passion and what is mission. When we say passion, it has got some purpose, why we do it. But mission is usually with a business purpose, to earn money. So we should define that. What is passion and what is mission? Next. So passion has a purpose. What purpose it will be having? It will be showing a light. Passion shows a light through which we walk in that way. The light falls automatically on that way. But it has got a purpose. Definitely it has got a purpose for the journey. Next. So passion is an energy. It's an energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. So when we look at this, already we surgeons are, we are intelligent people. We have a profession called as surgery. Some are working in medical college, some are practicing, some are in medical officer field. Like profession is there, vocation is there, passion and mission. Not only for surgery, also we have certain habits. That's why this meeting has been organized. So we should know what you are good at and what you love doing what. Are we doing it only for getting paid? No, we are good at and we enjoy out of it. That is called as passion. That's why, next slide, please. What was my passion is, I thought instead of doing external journey, I should go into internal journey. They talk a lot of things, meditation, chakras, and even religious aspects. Even Western people are spending a lot of money on that. So many gurus are there. So what is it exactly? Is there any scientific study on this? So with that intention, I started writing my books. Next slide, please. So already this one has come. First, a short stories book book called as Nehal, it mainly dealt with the division of India, how painful it was, and it won the prize from the district Sahitya Academy. Next, so many vachanas are there of our Sharnas. Are they dealing with any health concepts? So I wrote, I studied extensively on all the vachanas, and some of the vachanas I took in this book and told, is there any impact of health in that? I divided them into social, physical, as well as about the food. All those things, like I wrote a book on that, Vachanagalali Arogyada Parikalpane, and this was given free of cost in the surgery conference held at Bellary. Recently, I wrote a mega novel of nearly 1,000 people on a Marula Shankara Devaru. He is a Afghani Sufi sant who comes to Basavakalyan in search of what is this prasad. Prasad concept is not seen in any other religion except in Hindu religion. So with that intention, I started writing in the Corona period, but to make it small, it went up to 1,000 pages today. We are doing Zoom meetings on that, and it is getting appreciated all over the state. Already the second print is going for. So with that, what I want to say is, with this of my passion, why I write in books, why I spend time, is it gives me peace, it gives me pleasure, and of course, it gives me purification where I stand. And that's how I am today very good with my patients and my profession. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, sir. You finished within the time. And looking at your passion, that too, writing one article itself it requires so much of creativity, and you have written a 1,000-page novel. That too, researching in a 12th century Maha Saint. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for enlightening about this. And thanks for participating also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We will move on to our next speaker. As we have many speakers with a lot of talent, we need to move on a little bit fast. So I call upon Dr. Arvind Patel, again, our past chairman of Karnataka chapter from Bellary. And his topic is Explore, Enjoy, Be with the Nature. Sir, over to you, Dr. Arvind Patel.
Good evening. Namdu topic Explore, Enjoy, and Be with the Nature. ಬೇಗ 5 ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿಸೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಮೊಟ್ಟ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಈ ಸವಳ ಭೂಮಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಕೃಷಿನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಆ ಸವಳ ಮೊದಲು ನಾನು ಭೂಮಿ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಇದೇನಿದು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್, ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬೆಳೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆ ತಗೊಂಡೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದವರುಂಟು. ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲವು ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು ಉಪ್ಪಿನ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಇದು, ಉಪ್ಪು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದವರುಂಟು. ಒಂದು ಹುಲ್ಲು ಕಡ್ಡಿ ಕೂಡ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ದನ್ 10. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲೆಗಳಿಂದ ಬೇರಿಗೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಒಂದು 10-12 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಒಂದು 7 ಕೆರೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಿಂಬೆ, ಮಾವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಬ್ಬು ಈಗಿದೆ. ದನ, ಕರು, ಕೋಳಿ, ಕುರಿ, ನಾಯಿ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೊಲದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾವೆ. 10-12 ಪಕ್ಷಿ ಪ್ರಭೇದಗಳು ಈ ಕೆರೆಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಮಿನಿ ರಂಗನತಿಟ್ಟು ಅನ್ನೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬೋಟಿಂಗ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನ್ ಬೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತೀನಿ, ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಕಾಯಾಕಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಅದೇನೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಹೋಗೋದು, ಇದು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೊಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಅದೊಂದು ಹಟ್ಟು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. 100 to 150 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಹ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ನಮ್ಮ ಕವಿಗೋಷ್ಠಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ CME ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಕೂಲತೆಗಳನ್ನ ಈಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎರಡನೆಯದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಈ ನಡೆದು ನೋಡು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜಮುಖಿ ಪತ್ರಿಕೆಯ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನ ಏರ್ಪಡಿಸಲಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು BR ಹಿಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋಲಿಗ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿಯವರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಂದರ್ಶನ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸಂಡೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದಾಗ ಆ ಲಂಬಾಣಿಯವರ ಒಂದು ಜೀವನ ಕ್ರಮ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಪ್ಪತ್ತು ಗುಡ್ಡದ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸರ ಗದಗ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಹೋದಂತವು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನ್ಸ್, ಲೋಕಲ್ ಆರ್ಟ್, ಲೋಕಲ್ ಫುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು, ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಇರುವಾಗ ಇದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಲಿಟರರಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಾಜದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪರಿಸರದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಲಿಟರರಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದಾವೆ. 3 ಕವನ ಸಂಕಲನಗಳು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾವೆ, 2 ಅನುವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಎಡಿತ್ ನೆಸ್ಪೀಟ್ ಅವರದು 1904ರ ಒಂದು ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಾದಂಬರಿ ಕನ್ನಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ರಾಮೇಂದ್ರ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರ ಚೆಕ್ಮೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಕಾದಂಬರಿಯನ್ನ ಕನ್ನಡಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುವಾದಿಸಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ನಡೆದಂತ ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನದ ಸರ್ವಾಧ್ಯಕ್ಷ ಆದಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭದ ಒಂದು ಫೋಟೋ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ ವರ್ಷ ವಿಶ್ವಕವಿ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ನಾನಾಗಿದ್ದೆ. 18 ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಭಾಷೆಯ ಕವಿಗಳು ಬಂದಿದ್ರು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನನಗೆ ಬಹಳ ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಬಹಳ ಹುಚ್ಚು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಜಿಮ್ಖಾನ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನ ಕೇವಲ 9 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ. ಇದು ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬಹಳ ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದಲ್ಲ, ಬಾಂಬೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಯಿಂದ ಬಂದಂತರೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಒಂದು 2006ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಟೆನ್ನಿಸ್ ಫೆಡರೇಷನ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಒಂದು 16 ದೇಶದ ಕ್ರೀಡಾಪಟುಗಳು ಬಂದು ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಟೆನ್ನಿಸ್ ಫೆಡರೇಷನ್ ಟೂರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. ಇನ್ನು ಊರೂರು ಸುತ್ತೋದು, ಕಾಡು ಸುತ್ತೋದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹುಚ್ಚು ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದಾಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಫಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪಕ್ಷಿಗಳನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳನ್ನ ಹಿಡಿತಕ್ಕಂತ ಕೆಲಸನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನ ತಿದ್ದಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಓಡಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸನ ಒಂದು 30 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ನೋವನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸಿದಾಗ ಟ್ರೀ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಶನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ನೆಮ್ಮದಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕು. ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಲೆಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 25,000-30,000ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೀ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಶನ್ ವರ್ಕ್, ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಸುಡುಗಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಟ್ರೀ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ನನ್ನ ಮಗಳ ಮದುವೆಗೆ 5,000ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಸ್ಯಾಪ್ಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ಗೆ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು 4,000 ಕರಿಬೇವಿನ ಸಸಿಗಳನ್ನ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ. ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹಸಿಕಾನಿಗೂ ಯಾಕೆ ಬಿಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ 1,000 ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಗಿಡಗಳನ್ನ ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಾಗ ಗಿಡಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟದ್ದುಂಟು. ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥಿತವಾಗಿ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಡಿಮೆ, ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯಿಂದ ಕೆಲಸ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಮಾಡುವ ಒಂದು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಇದೆ. 20 ಪೈಸಾ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಚೆಂಡು ತಗೊಂಡು ಆಟ ಆಡಿದಂತವನು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿವಸ 10 ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಸೆಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ವೈದ್ಯ ವೃತ್ತಿ ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ನೆಮ್ಮದಿ ನನಗಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೈ ಹಿಡಿದವರು ಬಹಳ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಒಬ್ರು ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ್ ಸರ್ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಕೋಪಿ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿದ್ದೇಶ್ ಸರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ವೃತ್ತಿ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ನನಗೆ ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಸರ್. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಿಜ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲಿಟರೇಚರ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ನನ್ನೊಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇದೆ. ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಲಿಟರರಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೋ ಫ್ಯಾಬುಲಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೋ ವೆಲ್ ನೋನ್, and he has got so many fashions. He is very decisive in whatever decision he takes. Thank you so much sir for enlightening us. We will move on to the next speaker, Dr. RC Bengaluru. He's a senior surgeon from Bhadravati, and his topic is physics, physiology and philosophy. Over to you sir, please. Dr. RC Bengaluru.
Thank you. Good evening, friends. I'm Dr. RC Bengaluru, practicing as a general surgeon in Bhadravati. I have a special interest, fascination, and passion for fundamental particle physics and astrophysics, and I keep track of latest developments in these fields. Today, I'm going to apply my knowledge of physics and physiology with reference to visual faculty and try to analyze what is exactly light and what is exactly sight and vision. And in the end, I'll give a philosophical connotation and philosophical interpretation for the same. Next. So I'm going to put two questions. Is there sight because of light or light because of sight? The common perception is that there is sight because of light. Because there is light, we see. Without light, we cannot see. That is perfectly practical, perfectly pragmatic and true. But today, I am going to argue and prove that the opposite also is equally true. That is, there is light because of sight. Light is existing only because of our visual faculty, and without the visual faculty, light is meaningless. So to explain this further, we have to analyze scientifically what exactly is light. Light for us humans is the middle portion or Vibgyor portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. Our eyes are designed to comprehend only the Vibgyor portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. When these Vibgyor waves impinge upon the rods and cones in the retina, they induce an electrochemical reaction. Electrochemical impulses are generated, and these are transmitted via the optic pathway to the optic cortex, where we comprehend or perceive light. Till then, it is only electromagnetic waves. It is not light. Electromagnetic waves become light only in the optic cortex of our brains. So hence, without visual faculty, there is no light. So my contention is that there is light because of sight. Next. So to explain it still further and drive home my point, let us take, for example, a blind person. For a blind person, light is meaningless and non-existent. He cannot see because he doesn't have the visual faculty. Even though electromagnetic waves are all around him, he cannot perceive them, he cannot comprehend them. Oh, so light is meaningless for a blind person. So imagine the entire humanity is blind. Imagine that the visual faculty has not evolved at all in the animal kingdom, including human beings. Then what? Where is light? There is no light. Even though electromagnetic waves are there all around, there is no perception or there is no comprehension of the electromagnetic waves as light. These electromagnetic waves have been existing ever since the creation of the universe, but they were comprehended as light only with the evolution of visual faculty in animals and human kingdom. So without visual faculty, there is no light. Next slide. Without visual faculty, light is meaningless and non-existent. Next. Hence, my contention is that there is light only because of sight. Next. So let us give a philosophical connotation to my argument. I will ask you why God gave us or vision. Why the human mechanism of visual faculty, rods and cones, why the rods and cones developed only with a particular biochemical configuration so as to respond to and react only to the Vibgyor portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. Why not to the infrared, ultraviolet, or gamma rays, or X-rays? Because the answer is very simple. The answer is not scientific, the answer is philosophical. Because God intended us to have Vibgyor vision. God wanted us to have Vibgyor vision because he wanted us to see a colorful universe, a colorful world. He did not want us to have infrared vision, ultraviolet vision, gamma ray vision, or X-ray vision, because he did not want us to see a colorless, hazy, dull, and drab world. Next. So he bestowed upon us a Vibgyor vision because he wanted us to enjoy a colorful world. Next. Next slide, please. So I am going to give you previous. I am going to give you certain quotations of great scientists who have got a philosophical bent of mind. Albert Einstein said, reality is but an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. And the other scientist, Stephen Hawking, said, we see the universe the way it is because we exist. He also said, there is a divine purpose in the creation of the universe and evolution of life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I was so curious when you said your topic is physics, physiology, and philosophy that now I understand. It was so philosophical and enlightening. Thank you so much. We saw the other face of life. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And I request our next speaker, our present chairman of KSCASI, and who is also a big force behind all these activities, Dr. H.V. Shivram. Topic is trekking, travel, and cooking. Over to you, sir, Dr. Shivram.
Thank you, Dr. Jaka, for giving an opportunity to chairman also. We had great talks, and I'm very happy that the passions of so many surgeons, we are able to bring it to the notice of everybody. Anyway, surgeons are definitely passionate about their surgery, but they're also passionate about so many other things. So if you ask me, I have a great passion to travel. Traveled about 32 countries and also other places in India. I was in army for 5 years, and every 3 months, every 6 months, they used to send us for temporary duties. So there was a lot of travel. After that, we have a lot of travel groups where Dr. Lakshman is also there. We travel a lot. It's a great learning opportunity. My only advice for travelers is please prepare and travel. There are a lot of blogs and YouTube. See them and then go. You will understand better. You'll get exposure to different cultures and customs of the entire world. It's much of adventure and also exploration. Personality growth definitely occurs. There are a lot of things with research which shows people who have widely traveled, they have their personal growth is much more, and knowledge. And building relationships, definitely will build relationships with so many other people. So this is the lake, then just to show some photos, and then Great Wall of China. This was Iguazu Falls, where Dr. Ramchandra was also there. And recently Tanjavuru, one of the greatest temple, the Machu Picchu, you should never miss. And Sydney, all so many places we have traveled. And this is Iceland, you should not miss, where you realize when you are traveling in a bike alone and nobody else, you realize that you are lost in this world and how can we come back to this world. And a lot of adventure. To travel is to live. And if you're not traveling enough, that means your life is not comfortable. This is the scuba diving in Australia. And a lot of times with friends, we have a lot of adventurous things to do. During the COVID time also, we never stopped traveling. We traveled around Bengaluru, inside Karnataka, in our own vehicle. And that was great learning experience, because the traveling that time road was free, and these are all some of our adventures. And to do any of these things, you have to be fit also, and always fitness is very important to travel. Next is, when you are traveling, you will taste various types of food and never say no to tasty foods in different countries. Trekking is a travel by foot to mostly inaccessible destinations. Trekking is wonderful because you will see so many things which you can never see by air or by sea or by bus or by car. This is only possible trekking, or what Dr. Lakshman said, by the car journey without roads. There are usually 4 types of trekking: easy trekking, which all of us do, moderate and strenuous and difficult or high altitude treks. It gives us physical, mental, and emotional fitness. It's adventure, and you challenge yourself, and always we can see the pure nature and appreciate that. We have traveled a lot of areas, that is trekking by foot. There are special equipment sometimes required. Then forthcoming treks are Dev Tibba, that is Himalayan trek, where Dr. Tanga is also joining us, Dr. Lakshman is also coming, and then Mount Kilimanjaro in July, where my daughter also will join. Trekking is a group activity, and Sometimes it is you are alone in a small tent, or you may be sharing with another person. And these are all very, very small, minimalistic living. You will understand, and such beautiful views you'll never see anywhere else except trekking. Once in a lifetime experience, and nothing is impossible. Sometimes you may have to use all your 4 legs, and all are equal when we are traveling. There is no sex, no age, and everybody is together. There is no high or low, and it makes everybody equal. Pole, that is the trekking pole, is a good accompaniment for us. It gives like a third leg, and it's be ready always to challenge yourself. My other passion, which started during COVID, was cooking. I'm happy that none of you have come to this now, but cooking is a great opportunity to learn ourselves, and also it's like a meditation. You can cook whatever you want. It has a lot of learning, and also there is a lot of similarity to surgeon. It's always enjoyable and relaxing, and you can experiment and new learning. You'll have control over ingredients than somebody else cooking if you only cook fresh, wholesome food, healthy. And it also, as Modi says, it's Atmanirbhar. You are on your own. And always say, never say no to life. Your passion is your life. Enjoy it, celebrate life, and apart from surgery, definitely enjoy your life as a passionate person. Thank you very much. Thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. It was very wonderful. You have been always known as very disciplined, and you will keep up to the time. And also you have been motivating all the colleagues and juniors in performing the activities. Thank you. Thanks for enlightening, and also cooking, sir. We will have a party at your residence sometime.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now over to the next speaker, our dynamic speaker, Dr. Srinivas Pai, Professor and HOD from SDM Dharwad, who will be speaking on photography. So over to you, sir, Dr. Srinivas Pai, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm. The introduction is done. I thank the association for giving me a chance to speak to save time. I'll go on directly to the topic. So I've always said that one must have 3 hobbies: one to earn money, one for the body, and one for the soul. So one to earn money we already have. That is, we are surgeons and we work for it. One for the body is the fitness, what they said, trekking and other things. And one for the soul. So my passion for the soul is, Martin, next slide. Martin, can I have the next slide? Yeah. So I visit the forest. Now, why I visit the forest is to lose my mind and find my soul. That's what I keep saying, to lose my mind, because I forget about all my surgery and all its complications and all the administrative work. I have seen just a 1 hour visit to the forest or 2 hour visit to the forest is like being 1 week away from work. Next slide, Martin. So wildlife viewing and visiting the forest is my passion. I take photographs to document my journey so that I can remember, I can come back anytime. I cannot go to the forest. I can visit those photographs and I can go through my photographs into the forest. Now, why I took up a hobby like photography is to paint with light, Okay. It taught me a very important trait, patience. It taught me to introspect. When I go to the forest and take photography, waiting for the animal to come, the trait of patience develops. And also at that time, we introspect what could have been, what has to be, all these things. It is like a meditation. Somebody was saying that cooking is like a meditation. It totally calms the mind, totally takes you away from surgery, calms the mind. Also, the skill of photography is like surgery only. You use your hands, you try to take photos which don't have any blur. Same thing like surgery, it improves the hand skills. So one more passion I had, I did not mention, was poetry, but I thought there's already a poetry there. So that's a very private passion. That's for some other day. So what gear do I shoot with? I shoot with high-end cameras and high-end lenses, similar to what Professor Arvind Patel had said, the expensive ones. That's because I know how to use them. I started at a very low cost cameras and lenses, and quickly I realized that they are not suiting my type of photography. So I quickly switched on. One should avoid, the tip number one, one should avoid gas. In photography, gas is gear acquisition syndrome. You keep on buying gear and you run out of money. The best equipment, remember, is the one you have. Next slide, Martin. So some tips for those who want to take up photography as a passion, or those who want to take this up. So we do not do photography, we capture images. There's a difference between an image and a photograph. A photograph tells a story is an image. So whatever photography you do, it should be an image. For that, you have to anticipate. You do not take all and sundry photographs. Whatever comes to your in your way, we do not take that. We wait for it to be a story. So for that, we have to anticipate, and we have to follow what is called as a decisive moment. The decisive moment is a second, a millisecond. It's one moment in which the elements of the photograph attain balance, and we must seize this moment. Then only the photograph becomes an image. And remember that just like surgery, photography has photography is a passion where patience rewards you. Patience is a virtue common to both. Next slide, Martin. So some of the images I took, which I felt it's a recent ones and some are old. Next slide, Martin. Next slide. These are all having previous slide, Martin. The elephant photo is the one that my photographs appear in national magazines. Some of you may have come across. The photograph of the elephant is an award-winning photograph. Okay, it now sits in a medical oncologist office in New York because she wanted it. So there's only one copy of this, because I felt that if it's sitting in her onco clinic for her pediatric onco patients, I don't think nobody else should have that image. But this image did win an award in the Better Photography magazine. I do write for Deccan Herald. I do write for Times of India. My articles have appeared, photographs have appeared numerous times. Next slide. Now, this photograph, I actually sold it because I decided that I should monetize my hobby also. Somebody had pointed out some time back. See, I need to buy expensive gear. I can't, the surgery is different, but photography should support my photography. So I decided somewhere along the line, some people wanted to buy it. So this is sold to a travel company. It's a logo of a travel company now for an undisclosed sum. Next slide. And the last one probably, Martin. This photograph is an image. Okay. The reason why this photograph is an image, it sits in a pediatrician's hospital because she wants my classmates, all my classmates are doctors in various places of the world. She said, I want this photograph. So this photograph is a message. The message is about leadership. My style of leadership has always been to lead from the front. So this elephant, the mother elephant, the matriarch, is leading her little elephants to the water, showing the way to the water. There is some other message in this image. It shows the enormous, the magnitude of the forest. So how big the forest is compared to the elephant, which is the largest terrestrial animal in the world, largest terrestrial mammal. In our country, the Indian elephant. It shows how big the Mother Earth is compared to an elephant. It also shows the river. The river is the life of the forest. So whichever way the viewer wants to see, he can take the message. So an image is a photograph where people can take a message out of it. And thank you, everyone, for the patient listening. My reason for taking up wildlife photography is I grew up in a desert. My father was a doctor in Oman, which is a desert. Nothing grows there, just sand and gravel. It's very hot. No animal lives there. So naturally, I was fascinated by them. Thank you for the patient listening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. You had a very amazing photography. We really enjoyed it, and your thoughts are very abstract. So we will definitely enjoy the next coming conference also under this one.
All are welcome, and the teaser is out in a couple of days. So please log in and get it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I'll call upon our next speaker, Dr. Niranjan PB from Shivamogga. He will be speaking on short stories and stand-up comedy. Over to you, Dr. Niranjan, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm Dr. Niranjan. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you're audible.
Hello?
You're audible.
Yes.
Thank you. Sir, ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೂಲ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದ್ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ದಡ್ಬಡಿ ಮಗನೇ ಅನ್ನಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಫೀಲಿಂಗೇ ಬೇರೆ. ಸೊ ಬೈಲಿ, ಹೊಗಳ್ಳಿ, ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ, ಯಾವ್ದೇ ಖುಷಿ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿ, ಅವ್ರ ಮಾತೃಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಭಾರಿ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾತೃಭಾಷೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಂಗೆ ಜೋಕ್ಸೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ ಅನ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಅದು ನನ್ನ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಅದರ್ ದನ್ ಸರ್ಜರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರು ಸರ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ನಂಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅನಿಸ್ತು, ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು? ಈಗ ಪೈಸಾ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಹೆವಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಇದೆ, ಹೆವಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ಜರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್? ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಅಣ್ಣವ್ರ ಹಾಡು ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾರುನು. ನಾನು ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗದಿಂದ ಇರೋದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್. ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬನ್ನಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಾಡಿ ಹತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಜೋಗ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಜೋಗ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರು. ಜೀವನ ಇರೋದು ಇಷ್ಟೇ, ಜೋಗ್ ನೋಡಿ ಅಂದ್ರು ಅಣ್ಣವ್ರು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಓಕೆ ಜೋಗ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದೆ. ಹಂಗ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಣ್ಣವ್ರು, ಜೀವನ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಅಂದ್ರು. ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಜೀವನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇವಾಗ ಸಂಜೆ ಹೊತ್ತು ಆಕಾಶ ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಗಳಿದೆ. ಆ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಗ್ರಹಗಳಂತೆ. ಗ್ರಹಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಜಲಪಾತ, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಲ್ಕೆನೋ, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಟ್ಟ ಗುಡ್ಡ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಂದೆ ತಿರುಗಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಫುಲ್ ಅರ್ಥೆ ಗ್ಯಾಲಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ ಅಂತೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಸ್ಟ್ ತರ. ಸೊ ಅರ್ಥೆ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೆ. ಸೊ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಅದು ವೇಸ್ಟೇ. ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಹಂಗಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನೇನಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತಾನೆ, ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಡ ಅಂತಾನೆ, ದೋಸೆ ತಿರುವಾಗ್ತಂಗೆ ಏನೋ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾವನೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ನೀವು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಬಟ್ ನಿಜ ಹೇಳ ಸರ್, ನಿಜವಾದ ಕಾರಣ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ತರ ಅದೊಂದು ಇದೊಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೇಷನ್. ನಾನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಸೌತ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದು. ನಾನು ಓಡಾಡುವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, ರಿಚ್ ಜನ ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ಜನ್ಸ್. ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ್ ಸರ್, ಶಿವರಾಮ್ ಸರ್, ನಮ್ ಜಾಕಾ ಸರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆ ಕಡೆನೆ ಇರೋದು. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೆವಿ ರಿಚ್. ನಾನೇನ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಿಂದ ಓಕೆ ರಿಚ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ಜನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು, ಈ ತರ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಜಾಕಾ ಸರ್, ಶಿವರಾಮ್ ಸರ್ ಈ ತರ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಓಡಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. ಬಾರಿ ಖುಷಿ ಪಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ನಾನು. ಇದೇ ನಂದು ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಸರ್ಜರಿ ತಗೊಂಡೆ. ಸರ್ಜರಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಇದು ನನ್ನ ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ. ಇವಾಗ 30 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಸರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಜಾಕಾ ಸರ್ದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಇವಾಗ ನಮ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಮೈ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ಡ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಸರ್ ಹಂಗ್ ಬರೀರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಮೈ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಮನಿ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಮನಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಎಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಮನಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ನಂಗೆ ತಲೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟೋಯ್ತು, ಹೆಂಗಪ್ಪ ಇವ್ರೊಬ್ರು ಮಾತ್ರ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಮನಿ ಅಂತವ್ರಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನೋ ತಪ್ಪಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಹೌ ಟು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಜಾಕಾ ಸರ್ ಇನ್ 30 days ಅಂತ ಓದಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಗೂಗಲ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಬೈ ಜಾಕಿ ಇನ್ನರ್ ವೇರ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂತು. ಓಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ವರ್ಕೌಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ? ಆದ್ರೂ ಸರ್ಜನ್ ಅಂತ ಬಿಲ್ಡಪ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಸರ್ಜರಿ ಅಂತೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ತರ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಾರ್ಗಿರ್ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಓಡಾಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಈ ತರ ನಾನು ಸಾಧಕ್ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ ತರ ಆಚೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಜನ ಯಾರು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಕಾಮಿಡಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಜನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಸರ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಡಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಅಪ್ಪ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಟಿಸ್ಟ್, ಆ ಕಡೆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಕಾಮಿಡಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಬರೀ 900 ಜನ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬರ್ ಇದಾರೆ. ಆ ಕಡೆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಕಾಮಿಡಿ ಅವರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನ್ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ದು ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲಾರಿಟಿನೇ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಕಾಮಿಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇನ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ, ನಾನು ಸರ್ಜನ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಬರೋದು, ಹೆಂಗೋ ತೇಪೆ ಹಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಜೀವನ ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ. ಸರಿ, ಈ ತರ ಇದರೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಜನಗಳ ಕತೆನ, ಅದೇ ಕತೆನ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡೋದು. ಕೆರೆ ನೀರನ್ ಕೆರೆಕ್ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಗೆ ಕತೆ ಬರೀತೀನಿ, ಅದೇ ನನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬ್ಲಾಗ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ನಾನೇನು ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಏನ್ ಬರೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಜನ ಅನ್ಕೋತಾರೆ ಏನೋ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾವ್ ನೀನು, ಏನೋ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇನ್ನೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದ್ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮನುಷ್ಯರು ಮಾತಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನೀವು ನನ್ನ ಭಯಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು ಜೋಕ್ ನಗು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ನನ್ನ ನಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಡಬ್ಬ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ದ ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳಿ? ಅಣ್ಣವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ, ಇವಾಗ DVG ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ನಾನು. ಇವಾಗ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬೈಕ್ ಅಂತೀರಾ? ನನ್ ಬೈದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಬೈದಂಗ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೆಂಗೋ ದೊಡ್ಡವ್ರ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದದಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ. ಆನ್ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ನೋಟ್, ನಗುತ್ತಾ ಬಾಳ್ತಾ ಇರಳು ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಹೆಂಗೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀನಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. Thank you, sir. I think the first time I got more anxious. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡವರಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಭಾಷೆ ತಪ್ಪಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿ. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Niranjan, it was an excellent talk.
Excellent, Niranjan.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
ಖುಷಿ
Thank you.
ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರಿ. It was very humorous. So, no. We are very grateful to have a stand-up comedian as our colleague. Definitely, we will have more of you in coming days.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I hope I finished in time, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll call upon our next dynamics speaker, Dr. Naz Sheikh from Hosped, and our topic is poetic refractions. Over to Dr. Naz Sheikh. Yes, please. Dr. Naz?
Naz, unmute.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Go back to first slide. No?
Yes. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. As the surgeon holds the slender quill, the soul now is calm and still. The quill moves with gentle strokes, and a verse is scripted from the umpteen scars. At the outset, I would like to thank KSCASI for this wonderful program. I feel honored and blessed today to share this screen on the Zoom platform with so many great people with great passions. And I would be deliberating on poetic refractions and a few other hobbies of mine. All of you would have come across this poem, "What is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare" by W.H. Davis, and emphasizing the importance of leisure and giving time to our hobbies. I would compare our lives to a prism, and we are the light passing through it. And as we emerge, we generate a spectrum, and most of our life is spent on a career and profession, and the rest of the spectrum is dimmed out. But it is important that we give our time to all our different aspects and celebrate life. Now, coming to surgeons and poetry, we all know we are all poets, and we just have to dig deep into us and find out what we can write. The greatest example is Sir Zachary Cope, who wrote a book on that is Zeta, Diagnosis of Acute Abdomen in Rhyme. And a good surgeon just doesn't concentrate only on technical ability, but also on the appropriateness of what he's doing. And if the surgeon is like a poet, then the scars he or she has made on countless bodies are like verses into the fashioning of which he has poured his or her soul. These are some of the books where I have shared my poetry along with other different poets and across the globe. I write on different medical related topics, and I have the like poem on a gallbladder, fistula in ano, on ultrasound, on the hernia, breast lump, on trauma care, on diabetic foot, on appendicitis, and on the gossipiboma, and also on various calculi in the body. And I give a full credit to Dr. C.S. Rajan, who inspired me to start this, and he also encouraged me to publish it in Indian Journal of Surgery, and 4 of them have been published in Indian Journal of Surgery. Now, this is one that is People Cry from the Womb, is on female feticide. This has been published in various national magazines, and it also adorns the waiting room of many consultants across the state, where we distributed it during the state level IMA conference. And on the right side is on the diabetic foot, where we get to understand what a patient with a diabetic foot feels once he develops all these changes. I write poetry on day-to-day topics, like this one was on a 22-degree halo, which we happened to see last year. This one was on the earrings, which the mother had presented to Mirabai Channu, who won the Olympics medal, and same thing with the Neeraj, who won the medal in the last Olympics. The other hobbies which I have are we also distribute saplings to every patient who gets discharged, after the successful surgery. And these people volunteer to take them, and it is 100% successful because they planted on behalf they say that they want to take it for their good health. We also distribute saplings in various schools. This is the latest hobby which I have started now, which I have started the charcoal drawing, and just for trying to improvise it day by day. And travel is something, having apart from regular travels, like just going and visiting places to about 25 to 30 countries. But then this one, the latest one is from the last 2 years we are going trekking. And I agree with Dr. Shivram that this requires not only a good preparation, both physical and mental. It also makes you go along with your team. Here you are not a man or a woman, you are just a participant. And the trek, on the top was to the Hamta Pass, where we could not go to the summit because of heavy rains. And then we had to, the path got so slippery and there was a lot of slush. So we had to wait for 2 days for the storm to subside. And we were just left to nature with the tents even flying off. And we felt that we would never be coming live again. And all of us were literally singing in our minds that I am Malik Tere Bandeham. But then somehow God listened to our prayers and we came back. And this one was where we reached the summit. And all these treks and all these tours are good when your family is a part of it and you really enjoy being with them. And then life is a musical instrument and the various strings give different notes. One cannot get music by playing a single string. For a great music, play them all and create your own symphony. And many a times you want to do something, if you cannot really do it, at least try and edit it. Life is beautiful, just celebrate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Naz. You're not only just a dynamic surgeon, we know that you are dynamic in so many things. And your poetry, you pick any topic, you have a good wordings and you make a mala out of it. Thank you so much. And gifting a tree at the when patient get discharged is a great initiative. Really hats off to you. Thank you so much. Go to our next speaker, our dynamic Dr. Venkatachala, our EC member, who will be speaking on wildlife photography. Over to you, sir, Dr. Venkatachala. Yes, please.
Venkat, you have to unmute.
Because he is sitting in Kabini, probably, I don't know, signals.
Okay.
No, not a problem. I had not.
Okay. Yes.
But to see me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jaka, Dr. Shivram, sir. One of my passions is wildlife photography. Other than this, I am into fitness and also bonsai and orchid gardening and cocktail mixing, traveling, but a bit of poetry writing also.
Wow.
What started is like photographs like this, which you see online with my friends. So some of the photographs which I have taken at Ranthambore. So what happened is a wildlife safari once started at Kabini itself, Nagarole, with my family. And that's where I met Dr. Gubi first. He is my senior in school and also stays in my area, but I had never met him. And interactive tours with wildlife enthusiasts like Gubi and Dr. Prashant BN in Tumkur, Dr. Praveen, my classmate, Dr. Venkatesh, a physician, Dr. Sridhar, a radiation oncologist. And we started enjoying the beauty of nature and a feeling of oneness with nature. Gradually, we got better cameras. Whatever cameras we had earlier, we were not happy with the photographs because others were clicking better photos. So we got in good lenses under the guidance of our so-called seniors in photography. We gradually improved on the photography and editing skills also as we made more and more tours. So it is partners in the same crime. We should have partners in the same crime. So same mental disorders. So we have a few teams now who are regular at safaris. I know Dr. Shivram has also been with us. He has enjoyed a few safaris with us. We'll again next month in Kabini, we are there together. So clicking such photographs, it's not easy to sight a tiger. The whole day today evening we wasted. No, we couldn't get tigers, but luckily we got 2 leopards because leopard sighting is more difficult. So many such photographs, videos. Nowadays, no, the drivers doesn't lift up until I get a special shot, special view or snap. I will not angle. I will not click my camera because there are so many photos with me already. So clicks like this, last minute sightings, 9 o'clock, the safari ends and you get the tigress is moving in front of you and not ready to go out. Tigress coming out of the water, Ranthambore photos, the coveted Black Panther of Kabini, which drew in so many tourists from across the world. And after so many safaris, we were able to sight the Black Panther ones. Leopards are quite common here. We have a biggest population of leopards, tigers, crested hawk eagles, wild dogs, elephants in Karnataka. On a Jalana. And you can see that this getting 3 leopards in one frame is not easy. And also herd of elephants are quite common. Today we saw lots of elephants, lots and lots of elephants, the maximum I have seen till date. Bear sighting is not easy. You should be lucky to sight bears. Lucky to sight a python. Only once I have sighted in a python in my safaris. And then what fascinates us most is we see the birds are more colorful. We are seeing the same tiger, the same deer, the same leopard, the same elephants. But birds, there are so many birds, innumerable number of birds, sighting them. Some are very rare, not easy to sight them every time. Sighting them in the flight mode, which is not easy, to capture against the skylight. The skylight, the camera won't click at all because you need an object backdrop to fix the image. So again, flight modes are not easy. So vultures are endangered species. They're much more endangered than the tigers because they survive only on dead and decaying matter. And we are lucky to sight 2 dozen vultures at one go. Tree pie, barbets, glossy ibis, flight modes of painted stock. This is Bharatpur. If somebody is interested in birding, please go to Bharatpur. If somebody is interested in game, you can go to Kana, Bandhavgarh, Ranthambore, and our own Karnataka. So ultimately what we feel is just taking photography, sharing our photos, seeing them in different angles. That is not photography. When we come home, we see that conservation of the ecosystem is of prime importance. Otherwise, not only the next generation, even we will not be able to sight the wild animals and the beauty of nature. And also understand that we are also living beings. So we have to exist with the nature. We cannot exist by destroying the nature. We have to understand the behavior of the wildlife. Whatever cruel they are, you see the mother taking care of the cub, the mother elephant taking care of the calf, the deer taking care of the fawn. So you see that they are also like us. So they take care of their wildlife. They attack us only when they are threatened, but we go and kill them or destroy them, poaching and other things. So wildlife has to be protected. That is why we have to get into wildlife and see that they are conserved. The more you are closer to nature and wildlife, the better we feel for the environment. We want to protect the environment. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Venkatachala. It was a great motivation, and we know apart from this, you are also a great runner. So
yeah, there is another day for that.
Yes. So we enjoyed your photography, and we will be doing in next our camp also in Kabini camp. Thank you. Thank you so much for participating.
Thanks, Dr. Jaka, Dr. Shivaram, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll go on to our next speaker. Very beautiful painter, Dr. Manjunath Bedigere, Associate Professor in BSc. Over to Dr. Manjunath.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman Sir, Jaka Sir, all KSCASI members, EC members, for this wonderful opportunity for me, for all of us. This is one of my paintings. I have other hobbies also. I have a blog, Escape to Reality, where I write a bit of poetry. I write my related to medicine and everything. I am a simple photographer, and I have visited about 40 Hoysala temples. I'm interested in Hoysala architecture and Hoysala literature. So that is one of my other things. But because of the time limits, I'll just concentrate on my painting. Painting, I like to stress upon two things. And the obvious one is that painting and surgery are very closely related. And they are very, very intermingled, cannot be easily separated, because basically painting and the surgery are all anatomy and structure, design, aesthetics, and things like that. So, and the second thing which I want to tell you is that painting is very, very relaxing, and it is de-stressing for us surgeons after going through a bit of a difficult surgery, difficult things at the hospital, and we come and do something. It gives me, for me, it's a very motivating thing, and it's obviously very distressing. And it's a very simple thing. This painting self-portrait is done with only a blue colored pencil. That's it. Nothing, don't go anywhere, don't buy anything very costly. Very simple. Next slide, please. This is again, why I'm putting this is a de-stressing thing. This is, I did this painting in the hotel room when I was in COVID quarantine. After seeing a bit of ads, this is my own creation with the scars on the face of a health worker. So after coming from the COVID duties, this is very relaxing. Next slide, please. Again, this one was from a photograph I took after my COVID duty ended at about 2 a.m. in the morning. I had declared about 15 deaths in some 6 hours. So I went back to the hotel room at 2 o'clock in the night. And then I saw toward the east. The sun was in the very early, I think it was something like 4 or 4:30 in the morning. So I took this photograph. But obviously, I have added additional things like trees and things. It was above the city horizon when I took the photograph. It's a mixed thing. So the colors, the brightness in the sky, and how putting that into the image, putting that in the painting is a lot relaxing and forgetting that COVID, what do you call, scariness. So this is one thing I wanted to tell you. Mainly, I want to tell that stressing, de-stressing. Stress is gone. That's the thing. Next slide, please. This again, I'm trying to impress upon that painting is just anatomy, structure, design. So the one I put the kidney vasculature in this lady's case. This I did for one of my nephrologist friend. So I've tried to implement anatomy of the face with anatomy of the kidney also. So this is trying to combine the effects of surgery and anatomy with painting. The right one is again tulips and roses, structure, design, something like surgery. Next slide, please. This is my last slide. This is all my very simple paintings I have done. The tractor thing is from my village, my agricultural field, where they're sowing peanuts. The upper left with some flowers is I have done that in less than 10 minutes. This is just after some surgery, after the procedure. I came back home, wanted to do something, scrambled something, put something on the paper. It's done on rough paper. Again, the same, another different, every painting has a story. There's no time. So I must want to tell you that painting is a necessary skill for surgeons because drawing, sketching, making images, it has to be a part of our lifestyle. It's very needed. It's a necessary skill for surgeon. That's what I want to stress up. And obviously, it is very relaxing. You don't have to have costly equipment. You don't have to go anywhere. You can sit in OPD, draw something in the pen, draw something for the patients. No, it's always helpful if you are a bit skillful, and so it's very motivating, very relaxing, helps you in surgery. So I don't have to. I want seniors to help the juniors, students, to ask them to make small diagrams, small sketches in their work. So that is what I want to convey. Thank you for this great opportunity, sir. Jaka sir, Shivaram sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. They were amazing paintings. They were not just simple paintings. You have put out your thoughts so much, and it is spontaneous. So they were.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Always a surgeon who has got a good finger movements in terms of. I also say always surgery is an art. So this is also an art. In that way, it's really excellent the way your fingers move and make this a beautiful painting. We really admire this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And we go to our next speaker, Dr. Prashant BN, President of our Tumkur City branch, who will be speaking on wildlife, nature, birds, and sky hobby photography. Dr. Prashant, over to you, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to the office bearers. Thank my teacher, Dr. Siddesh, and all my friends. Today, I will restrict my talk to wildlife photography. And can you put the next slide, please? Before going on to wildlife photography, it may be a mix-up between Dr. Pai and Dr. Venkatachala, and I would like to put some things. We'll just know what is wildlife before going into photography. As you all know, it's a traditionally undomesticated animal species, which has included organisms that grow and live in the wild, without deserts, forests, rainforests, plain grasslands, and even in urban areas. So next slide. Why I came into this hobby and who inspired me? See, I used to watch a lot of photographies of nature, birds, and many things on Facebook. And one particular doctor inspired me. And when I used to watch his photography, I used to feel so happy at the end of the frame what he had composed. And it was soul touching. Like. Then one day I called this guy and spoke to him. And then I thought I have to go into it and started learning. And he had advised me where to learn and what gear I should buy. And it is none other than a surgical colleague who is in Bellary. It's Dr. Arun SK. I was so impressed by his photography that finally I ended up. He's also into conservation and also formation of a new sanctuary at Bellary called the Darochi. And what I liked and why I came into it, it became an hobby for me. Whenever I used to get involved, I used to be so happy, and it was a stress relieving thing for me. And I used to get recharged and refreshed. And it has everything which we like, and it can be done in any flexible hours. And it allows us to watch very closely with the animals and their attitude, and we can get related to this nature and things. And it is done in flexible hours. It's so touching that at the end of the day, it would make us very recharging and very happy. And finally, this made me an hobby, and we also can do this digitally. We can compose everything. We can take a lot of photos. And we should. It makes us so happy. And now, before going on to the tips and other things, I would like to play my small video on wildlife before going on to the other types and other things. Anyway, yeah, we will play that small video which I had sent, if it can come up.
Martin, can we play the video?
Oh. These are some of the photographs which I have taken. I have just put whatever possible in this short time. And in wildlife photography, we have a lot of types of photography. When you close up and take only the animal or its face, it's called the portrait. And when we take the entire environment, it's called the habitat shot. And when the animal is in action, that means it's chasing something or it's catching a prey or the bird is hooking onto a fish. Such things are called an action or behavioral photos. We also take science-based or research-based photos. And it's an art, in fact. And there's other type of photography called macro photography, wherein we go close in to take a part of an animal, maybe an eye or something like to an insect, a butterfly, or a flower, which is called a micro photography. And human interaction and conservation photos. There's birding, nature photography, landscape, and wildlife with sky, and also silhouette, marine life photography with underwater photography. And finally, ultimately what? It's ultimately a story that we want to tell in a single frame, that which makes everybody happy, and it's a photo art. So when we do such things, we should be, it makes us feel relaxed, charged, motivated, and feel positive about everything and go back and do better things. And then what tips for the beginners? See, for wildlife, you need not have to go to faraway places or anything. Initially, you can start in a familiar environment in and around your house or near your place. Start photographing certain insects and birds or butterflies. Then learn how to deal with low light situations. Get used to your camera. Try to shoot as close as possible and try to take a lot of photographs. And in one particular decisive moment, you will get that particular picture which is really out of the blue. So it's nothing that you should take only 40 photos, 50 photos. Just keep clicking. It is a digital photo. You do not have to waste anything there. And we have to learn to make our photo sharp. Just not only on focusing, the quality of our gear and the lens is very, very important. And we should know the other basics. And we should also study the subject.
Yeah, I think you are running out of time.
Oh, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Maybe another time we can put on everything. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Prashant. What happens when we have so much passion? No, we keep on speaking. This happens, and we saw some of the photos. They were so amazing. That frog and all that small crab. It's so difficult to get those moments. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
For,
Thank you so much.
beautifying our evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I call upon our next speaker, Dr. Ramakrishna. He is president of our Shimoga City branch, and he's very passionate and will be speaking on agriculture and chess. Over to you, Dr. Ramakrishna. Yes, please.
Sir, my screen is visible, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So my previous speakers have already told what is passion and all those things, so I need not repeat it. My passion is agriculture. Recently, I bought a plot which was looking like this, full of this parthenium and weeds. So I had to till it using tractor, using cultivator, and bring it to this shape. We did puja and planted the first areca sapling. Now the field is ready with drip irrigation and all the plants there. And after this planting the areca, we did this intercrop with banana. This is because areca, to give you returns, it will take about 6 to 7 years. And during this period, you need money for maintenance, and banana or any other intercrop that will fill that gap. So down the line, after a few years, I wish to see it something like this. Actually, this is my old areca plantation. This is about 25 years old. Here we also have other trees and plants, something like this. This teaches us we have to share the fruits of the nature with other animals and birds. See, nature gives these fruits not only for man, but also for other animals and birds. We should be happy to share with them. We have other trees like this. This is sweet lime, that is Musambi, then pepper, banana, mango. All these plants we have at our farm. And some of the things while working at the agriculture field makes me curious. One day when I went to plot, I saw 4 eggs. Actually, they were eggs of the peacock. With great curiosity, I used to visit and see how they are progressing each and every day. One fine morning when I went there, all have hatched and flown away. They left us some of the gift which we kept at home for decoration. This is another curious thing. This bird views its nest at such a place and lays egg. It is totally safe, 100% safe. No snake, cat, or any animal can reach there. So such curious things you find during this passion. And some of the decorative items like snail shell, flowers, all these things we get. In plantation, you derive happiness when you do things, fun activities, like you can celebrate birthday, cook there, or prepare a soup and drink. But you should be ready to deal with this side effect also. You can play with the family or have lunch with the friend or drink tender coconut freshly plucked from the tree. These things give you satisfaction. If you don't have any work, just sit there, relax, and you get refreshment. We have so many harvests. I have not put everything there. Why I have put this? Because although if you calculate in terms of value, it doesn't cost much. It doesn't give much returns, but the satisfaction is that we grew and we are eating. These are totally contaminant free, no chemicals used, no insecticides, so they are healthy. As an extension of the passion, we have put plants everywhere at home, wherever there is place, be it sit out or terrace or even inside the house. So these things, we can even grow fruits on the pots and flowers. If you are amidst it, you feel happy and relaxed. My dream is to put all these things and a variety of flowering and fruit plants in my plot to make it a destination, agri-tourism. But agriculture is not all greens. We have to really work hard, literally sweat there to bring the plot into good shape and get some returns out of it. We have diseases of the leaves, plants, trees, and sometimes uninvited guests like this. Some of them could be dangerous too. Of course, there are other problems like water scarcity, erratic rural electric supply, the labor problems. Sometimes it will disturb your profession because you have to keep on visiting the plot frequently, and it takes away some of your time. If you think it as an investment, it may not fetch you as much money as the other investment will. Of course, after getting the products, you may have marketing problems also like that. The list is endless. So what I advise, dear friends, unless you have real passion for it, don't go for agriculture. If you really have passion, there is nothing like it. You definitely derive happiness. For me, I have gone all out with it. I feel genuinely happy doing agriculture. I don't mind hard work and sweating. I gain a sense of achievement, pride, purpose in life. And when I am at my plot, I lose track of time. Thus, it keeps me engaged both physically as well as mentally, and it's a retirement plan too for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ramakrishna. We know that when we had to reduce your number of slides from 45 to these many, we know that your passion is pouring out, and so we had to restrict because of time, but it was very excellent and excellent learning for all of us. How to convert from a barren land to such a beautiful land. Thank you so much for presenting within the time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Now we move on to our next speaker, Dr. Preeti, our EC member from Mysuru, who will be speaking on adventure. So I request Dr. Preeti, over to you, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Jaka sir, for the kind introduction. The title of my presentation is Outlaw. The title seems a little weird. You may be wondering what kind of a hobby is this? Well, Outlaw stands for out on land, air, and water. I repeat, out on land, air, and water. So I'll be talking about adventure, the different activities that I have done so far. Coming to the land activities, I love going on road trips. I usually take my car and go out on a long drive. And then I've also done some biking trips with my school friends. The best biking trip so far has been the Leh trip. We drove from Manali to Leh and further on to Nubra and Turtuk Valley. So this has been the most beautiful and memorable biking trip so far. Next is rappelling. Rappelling is nothing but a controlled descent down a slope. It may be a hill or a rock or a tall building using ropes. There's a small video of the same. Here we are doing rappelling next to a waterfall. This was quite slippery actually. Next is a zip line. In zip line, strong cables are attached between two hills or tall buildings. There's a pulley given, and if we hold on to the pulley, we can zip down the cables. This I did near at a place called Shilandara near Ramnagara. Coming to the treks, there are few adventure groups at Mysore, and I've recently joined them. This is a recent activity for me. And we went to Ethinabhuja, a hill near Chikmagalur. Coming to the air activities, I have done parasailing and paragliding. Paragliding, I did it at Manali. There's a small video of the same. Coming to the water activities, I have done river rafting, scuba diving, snorkeling, and undersea walk. Coming to river rafting, I really feel happy to share that I have done rafting at few of the best places in India, namely Rishikesh, Manali, Zanskar, and Dandeli. Rishikesh is considered as the best place to do rafting in India, mainly because of the grade 4 and grade 5 rapids, and also because of the long stretches like 25 and 36 kilometer rafting which can be done. Here's a small video of river rafting that I did at Rishikesh.
Harder, harder, harder! Very good, very good! Moving good, moving good!
Next is scuba diving. I have done it at Nethrani near Murdeshwara and also at Thailand. A small video of the same. There are a few more activities which I wish to do, namely bungee jumping, hot air balloon ride, and skydiving, which are in my bucket list, and I hope to do it soon. Based on my little experience with adventure, few suggestions which I can give would be, if you're interested in traveling, better to go in groups, either with family or with friends. It is safer that way and much more fun too. Do all these activities under supervision of authorized professional and certified groups. Please do your own research before venturing out. Carry necessary gear, tools, personal medicines, and first aid kit. Have your own backup plan. And please do cost analysis, especially if you're a travel freak and wish to travel to many places and do adventure. Cost analysis becomes important. Understand the terms and conditions of each activity and that of the groups. And please stick to the itinerary. It is very tempting to deviate from the itinerary or try to do some extra adventure, which can be dangerous. And of late, there are a lot of travel and adventure groups in most of the groups. Many such groups available online too. So you can do your own research and become a member of those groups and travel with them. One such important association is the Youth Hostel Association of India. So this offers membership which can be annual or lifetime membership. And this association organizes very nice trips which are both safe and budget friendly. Finally, listen to your heart, do whatever fascinates you. Don't bother about what people say. Just don't dream, do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Preeti. It was really very adventurous, and looking at you, don't feel, probably we always feel that you are busy with your surgeries. And you're one of our second dynamic woman surgeon after Naz.
Thank you.
Very happy to know your adventures.
Thank you,
and
sir.
your tips are also well taken. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice.
We'll move on to our next speaker, Dr. Sangamesh from JIMS Kalaburgi, and his topic is reading, writing, and superseding. Over to Dr. Sangamesh, please.
Good evening, sir. I am Dr. Sangamesh, working as assistant professor in Gulbarga Institute of Medical Sciences. I'm also a PG faculty guide for paramedical board. Can we have the next slide, sir? Yeah, I have named this my passion as reading, writing, and superseding. So we all have this passion for reading. I personally believe this passion for reading also leads us to another passion, which is writing or documentation. And this passion for reading and writing also helps us to have our best PPF, which is not a personal provident fund, but it is personal, professional, and familial life. Can we have the next slide, please? Yeah, can you just click it once again? No, move on to the next slide and click it once again. Please click it. Yeah. What inspired me and why I developed this passion? Please go back. Yeah. What inspired me and why I developed this passion? It's all about my childhood events when I shifted from one school to another school. And I had this great difficulty in understanding English. And when my friends used to say that you don't sit on my bench, I used to never understand what they are saying unless until they would be push me out of their bench, and then I would understand, oh, they don't want me to sit on their bench. So that's when I started feeling like I should learn English and I should develop their accent. So with that thing, I met my English teacher and I told my difficulty. Then he gifted me an English dictionary with my translations, with the translations of Kannada and English word. And he said, you keep reading. And this my reading habit developed, and I started reading a lot of books on Chanakya, who has left a great legacy for us. Can we move on to the next slide? So while reading many of the Chanakya's book, I came across this something called as Chanakya's legacy, where he says that if you have to leave our legacy in life, you have to do three things. One is plant a tree, write a book, and have children. Well, having children is not my passion. This is what just Chanakya said, so I've just picked it up. But planting a tree and writing a book are my what I believe are legacies. So always plant a tree. So these are some of the trees which have been planted by me in my farm. Some of them date back even to 15 years or 20 years. And writing a book, it's always that every day or on a weekly basis, I write what happens with me on those things. So I've been doing it since last 7 years. So these are some of the books like Diary 2021. And in 2019, I had a kid. So I started writing a book. That was the name of the book is The Zeal to Become the Best Father. Can we move on to the next slide? Well, this passion of my reading had led me to read a lot of spiritual books. What I can say is I've just read Bhagavad Gita, finished off with the Quran, Bible, Guru Granth Sahib. Basically, what we can see is it makes you totally spiritual. So reading is definitely what I believe is a very good habit. Planting trees, I also believe that we take so much from the nature. So it's our way of giving back to the nature. So I personally believe you have to plant trees. And with regards to writing a book, I always believe that it's not necessary that somebody should read your book. So you just write your thoughts, whether it's up to the public, whether they read or not, but you have this passion for writing, you just write it. Now, how I inspire others and a few tips to learn. Surgeon's life itself is an inspiration for others as we are lifelong learners. And we have our own stalwarts in this group, members in ESI from which we can learn a lot. And it's definitely to inspire others, you have to show others what is the work done by you. And the book, what you see on the left, is the beginning of my writing journey. That is the journey from commitment to engagement, which I've started writing on my wife. I've completed 3 volumes, and the 4th volume is in writing. So the subject here is my wife. I write my conversations with my wife, the fights, the other moments, whatever it is. So definitely that is one book which I cherish. And the table which you see on the right side is another important book, which I call it as a surgeon's logbook. Which I believe most of us would be doing. But if you're not doing, I personally believe you have to start doing it. So wherein I record my day-to-day surgeries, someone who assisted me, whether I did it, either I supervised it, whether what were my complications, and the time which took me to do that surgery. So I call it as a surgeon's logbook, and I have been doing it since last 7 years. Can we move on to the next slide and the last slide? Yeah. How I inspire others and a few tips to learn. Well, the tips: start reading books on the surgical stalwarts. Where we have most of our own stalwarts, like books on Taimton Udadia, books on R.D. Bapat, books on Atul Gawande and all. Write about your everyday activity and the place of work, wherever you work. And it is always better to begin with the surgeon's logbook. Pick up the favorite plants of your choice and plant it. And from the next rainy season, they will blossom and they will give back to you. And I believe with reading and writing, we shall leave a legacy for the future generations to know how things existed now in today's world and the world we have left for them to live. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sangmesh. It was very enlightening because the most brilliant person, and you have given the tips, including the passion of having children. That was hilarious, very good one. And we really loved your talk. It was really nice. Thank you so much. Yeah. Now coming to the next speaker, Dr. Sharad BV, who is the secretary of Chitradurga branch, city branch. He'll be speaking on photography, photoshopping, and YouTubing. Over to you, Dr. Sharad.
Good evening, everyone.
Dr. Sharad, please.
I'm audible, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. The passions other than surgery, what I have is the first one is next slide, please. The photography. I'm more into the skyline photography. I prefer to take the sky photography. The first photograph is the sky, which was near my house. I've done a bit of photoshopping as well in that image because there was a lot of wires dangling from above. So I had to remove them. So there were two of my passion that was involved in this photograph. The other one is the red-vented bulbul, which is quite common in my place, that is Chitradurga. That was sitting on the pipe. I just clicked a photograph and it came beautifully. So I just wanted to showcase it here. And the third image is when we went on a trip, the trekking trip to Jogimati. Jogimati is a hill station near Chitradurga. It's about 20 kilometers from here. So it was a nice early morning with a cool breeze. So I just clicked a windmill along with the background of sun, which was just rising. So that is one. And the other passion that I have is clicking the photograph of moon and stars. This is a half moon that was, the full moon is difficult to capture with even with the DSLRs. So half moon is better played because the light is, too much of light is reflected from the full moon and it's difficult to capture. So the half moon is the craters and all if you want to see. So the half moon is preferable over the full moon. Next slide, please. The other passion that I have is YouTubing. It's a recent passion that I developed since last 3 months. I've opened my own channel that is Scholarly. It has only 28 subscribers so far, and it has got 21.2 hours watch time. And I produce more of the shorts, more than the long-term, long format videos. Don't make that much because obviously time constraints are there with the surgeons. So that's why I prefer to make shorts on the brain psychology, the brain physiology. I prefer to make videos on these and upload it to YouTube. Next slide, please. The third is designing. The designing, why I developed was recently I built an hospital just 1 year back. Because of the financial constraints that I had, cost cutting, I could not hire an interior designer. So I designed my own designs. The logo is the one I designed on my own. The flyers, again, it's the for the activities I had to make the flyers. And this is the board that is sitting in front of my hospital, the third image. It's next slide, please. Now this is how my hospital looks at night. This is entire interior designing was done by me only, with the help of a few of the carpenters and all. So that's it. And I've got other habits like writing, reading, and that's for another day. And I'd like to stop it here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sharad. It was very nice talk. It was good because YouTubing is such a thing which is the trend now, and we would like to hear more from you in future to educate or to give tips to all our surgeons. Thank you so much. Thanks for participating.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Now I call upon our next speaker and the 20th speaker. I know all our speakers are from different districts across Karnataka, and all together they have put up so much of effort in preparing all this and presenting here. Thanks. And I'll call upon Dr. Pawan Prasad BK, who is a surgical oncologist in Bengaluru, to speak on open water swimming. Over to you, Dr. Pawan Prasad.
Very good evening to everyone. I'd like to thank all the organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak on something other than surgery, which is very close to my heart, and that is open water swimming. So what exactly is open water swimming? Next slide, please. Yeah, it is a discipline. It's an outdoor sport wherein we enjoy our swimming skills in natural bodies of water like rivers, oceans, and lakes. Why is it difficult? Like we know, open water is always unpredictable. The currents are unpredictable, the wind, and also the aquatic life. Compared to pool swimming, open water is always seems impossible until and unless we dive in and conquer the swim. So why did I take up open water swimming? One thing is, compared to pool swimming, it gave me a real sense of adventure and freedom. Swimming in the vastness of the ocean, surrounded by water everywhere, the blue unlimited paradise, it gave me a very unique experience, and it was more rewarding. And every time we swim, we try to revive the nature. Before venturing into the water body, we try to keep the surroundings clean, meaning to say we try to pick up all the plastic scrappage which has been left behind by other visitors around the water bodies. We try to keep it plastic free as much as possible. And also, every time we swim in the open water, it truly tests our endurance. How far can we go? It's not the time that matters, but the distance we cover and with the efficiency with which we propel forwards in the water. And also, of late, I've been dreaming of a triathlon finish. For those of us who are new to this triathlon world, it's an endurance sport which combines swimming in the open water with cycling and also running. So once we finish all the three events back to back without much of rest in between, we are given the title Ironman. So I've always dreamt of a triathlon finish. So someday probably I hope to achieve it. And also, it's too much fun. The moment we enter into the open water, the vastness gives us sheer enjoyment. We are a fish with the other fish. So it's uncomparable, unparalleled. So open water also has own benefits considering the swimming in a pool water which is filled with chemicals and a lot of people around us. Open water, you swim with nature. You swim in nature. It is chemical free, fresh water everywhere. And again, like I said, it's a true test of endurance. Every swim is different. It makes us challenge ourselves a bit more. 1 lap more, 1 kilometer more. If I have done a 1 kilometer swim this time, I would like to plan for a 5 kilometer swim the next time. And also, I've been able to expand my social circle. I've been part of this Open Water Swimmers Foundation, which is founded by one of the great Indian Olympians, Nisha Millet. And with this, I've been able to make friends with many of the triathletes. And the way sports persons see life, the way they take challenges, it's really amazing. And I've been able to learn a lot from them. And of course, every time enhancing your endurance level and testing your own skill set definitely has got its own benefits. And more than anything, it's too much fun. We just have to dive in, keep swimming until we accomplish the swim. Next slide, please. So it's always, I believe that you have to swim with your heart. Open water offers us this opportunity. No matter what, no matter how many waves come, we just have to dive in, keep swimming, and ultimately, when your body gets tired, make sure that you swim with your heart and enjoy the swimming. So thank you. I've kept it short. Thank you for your time and patience.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pawan Prasad. It was really a different thing. And yeah, even in our childhood, I used to do that. It's really amazing. It gives a lot of strength and confidence. And it's totally an adventure. Yeah, we will have more and more tips in near future. Thank you. Thank you so much for presenting here. Now, I would like to share my PPT, please. As a, I also have some passion, so I thought I'll put forth in front of all the allied members. I just thought how I should be socially impacting.
Rajshekhar Jaka, you switch off your video. Audio is not good.
Always wanted to be the. What
Switch off
happened?
video. Your audio is not audible.
Oh, my audio is not audible, sir.
No, just switch off your video for some time and talk. Yeah.
Is it audible, sir, now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Continue.
So, yeah, go to the next slide. So how can we make a difference in others' life? How can I make this world more better? That was my thought, because it was always my father who instigated all these good thoughts in me. So I started this Sankalpa Chase Cancer Foundation and started conducting free screening camps across the state. I have conducted at least in 20 districts at various forums. And every year I keep doing this. 200 to 300 patients I see in a day. I carry some 10 of my team members who are specialists in surgical oncology and medical gynecologist, everyone. And I do the on-spot ultrasound, on-spot pathological test, on-spot tests. And also we offer the free treatment, because I always think, how can we make a difference for the society? Can sit in OPD and do it, but still how to reach out there and do it. Next. So in various, these are the photographs of various districts where I went and did it. And walkathon is one more where I create awareness. I have huge alumni group of more than 10,000 in Bangalore, and we did a cancer awareness walkathon just before the COVID. And it was great, successful. In the BBMP headquarters we did, that was the first time BBMP headquarters was given to us to conduct this. And going to the next slide. I was always feeling, because when we see the pain of a person, you reach out to the society and do something. And this was one of the thing which I did. All over Karnataka, in a single day, we organized a blood donation camp, and more than 450 pints of blood were donated in a single day to Kidwai Hospital and Victoria Hospital on that day. And similarly, in the left corner, you can see 700 of us alumni have donated or pledged our organs for donation. Our alumni includes many of the IAS and IPS officers. So let us do something impactful and help the society, or change the society, or change someone's life is my motto. Next slide, please. This always inspires me. Many of my family members ask, oh, you always think of something else. I want to build something else, not the hospital, something like that. So these are the books which I have written on a breast cancer, which is in the 9 languages. I put a lot of effort for 6 months, because I had to translate it so that patients can understand the disease better, and then they can treat them. Means they understand what we are doing, and they have to come in an early stage, so we can make an impact in their lives. Next. We know that breast cancer is the most common cancer in women. That's why I thought I'll start with this. And this is how always Mother Nature is big one. How to safeguard her. Go green, free the plastic. Nearby places I go, for example, this is a photo of Ramnagar Betta near Bangalore. We went there and we cleaned the whole Betta that day, whole area that day. And we were somewhere around 250 people. We collected so much of garbage. We removed all the plastic. And we also celebrated on the top of that Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav. So that inspires me to do more and more, because I have a big group, and this is how you develop leadership skills, and also you impact others and they impact you in turn. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. This is how every year I plant trees I plant trees. I make sure that whenever I get time, if at all we are unable to plant trees, then we have the last photo where you can see the seed balls. I encourage all the school children to make these seed balls, so that you go and throw in a barren land. Over a period, at least 50% of these seed balls will grow into trees, and over a period, it becomes a forest. So it is not always that you take a tree and do it, because it is very labor intensive. Always you cannot do it. So in your bit, do something as much as possible. Next slide, please. This is also, I thought during COVID time, that because we are going towards the diet which is more Western, let us come back to our roots, millet based. So I have started this food industry and cold press oil, and this is shortly coming up with a hotel, millet hotel on Bangalore-Mysore highway. It is bang on the highway. In another 3 months, it is going to start. And my intention is, let us provide healthy food, healthy environment. Next slide, please. And this is the foundation which I am also chairman, Aladamara Foundation. We should be like a banyan tree. Not only we should grow, we should also give shelter to others and allow others to grow. And they should become one more Aladamara and they should give shelter to others, wherein which we have made these houses, and we are just giving it a 9 lakhs for the people who are really not affordable for this. We have chosen from the labor industry, laborers who are working in Maddur, near about Mandya, Maddur area. Already donated all these lands, and over 5 acres of land we have taken, and we get a lot of happiness when we give this one who cannot afford. So next slide, please. I have a big team for this. This is a different team. I have Satish and Rajat, because I need to mention. And I also love supporting farmers, putting whenever they are going on strike, because if it is for a real purpose, this is when Mahadai for river, this one, we sat on hunger strike in Bangalore along with all the farmers. Sometimes I feel that yes, farmers need some support, whether I'm a doctor or whatever I am, ultimately I need food. So that is how I go about it. Next slide, please.
Jaka, time.
Yes, sir. And at the end, I also have this Filmi Dunya Miss, where I have acted in a short film, which is named as Beer Sundari. I got an opportunity to act, and I also dubbed myself for my voice. And yeah, thank you so much. I also thank all the participants today and our chairman, secretary, everyone for giving this wonderful opportunity, and for everyone putting so much of effort over here and putting their passion out here and giving so many tips. Over to our chairman and secretary.
Thank you, Dr. Jaka, for moderating. Excellent. And it's amazing that you know that there are so many talents amongst us. Our past ASI president, Dr. Abhay Dalvi, wanted to congratulate you all personally. Sir, can you unmute and speak? Dr. Abhay is there. Okay, Dr. Siddesh.
Yeah, I think it will be very superfluous if I just add each one of them have excelled in their own way. I think we have conveyed the real meaning of what the essence of life is, not just in your profession, what you can continue enjoying life, at the same time make a impact to the society and also to others who are nearby to you in a different way than through your profession, and also derive pleasure out of it. That is the most important thing, what the passion is all about. So unless you like what you're doing, you enjoy what you're doing, then it is purposeless. And it is amazing to see so many of you. We know you personally, all of you, but you have so many things hidden inside you, and you have been doing so excellently well in many aspects other than just surgery, what you know out of. Thank you very much for organizing this, Chairman, Secretary Chandrasekhar and Shivram, and also wonderfully coordinated program. Though it was little lengthy, but I saw even till late, there was a big crowd holding on to it. The numbers were good. I hope this will be prepared as a link and tagged to a website where it can be seen for those who could not, for obvious reasons, whatever. Thank you very much, Jaka, again, and wonderful work.
Yes.
Thank you.
Dr. Abhay, you can unmute and speak. Dr. Abhay Dalvi. Thank you for joining, sir.
I'm just waiting for Siddesh to finish.
No, I finished. You can come in.
Okay. So because on my laptop it's still going on, so it's okay. One minute. Just give me 30 seconds. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, clear.
Yeah. So let me congratulate the Karnataka Society ASI, office bearers, faculty, delegates, everybody, and particularly Shivram, who personally sent a WhatsApp message to me to join this thing. And as far as Karnataka state chapter is concerned, I have never ever refused a single invitation that I have received. Passion beyond surgery, usually I don't get these invitations because people feel I don't have anything, any passion beyond surgery. Thank you, Shivram, for inviting me. Moderator asked for a party after this, after your presentation on cooking. I can help you. That much I can tell you. That much I can tell you. Non-vegetarian food, I will help you for sure. Okay. I don't have the passion for clicking images, but you'll have so much passion beyond surgery. With surgery, I really, unfortunately, I don't have these sort of things. But let me tell you, I have gone through right from the start, right to the end, including Siddesh. Siddesh has promised me a lot of things from his farms, but it's not coming through. It's not coming through.
You have to come to Mysore.
I have no problem now. There is good connectivity. And I would like to meet Shivram and others, obviously, and get some things out of your farm. And really, Shivram, you have done all the best that you can do in this Bangalore, Karnataka society. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We are doing
very
very
thank you. Thank you for inviting
you
me. Shivram, you remember me. I'm very happy about it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody else wants to speak anything, or shall we say, call it a day? Dr. Lakshman?
We will call it a day, Shivram. Great program, great planning, great execution.
On
But we'll
behalf
call it
of
a day.
KSCASI, I would like to thank all the speakers, all the members of KSCASI. We have crossed more than 100. We have around 50 in YouTube and almost 60 to 70 in live in the Zoom platform. And I should thank each and everyone for taking part in this program, sir. Thank you, one and all.
Sopimat, thank you for joining. Closing words from you.
No, absolutely. I was just, I'm short of words. And I was just thinking how little I know about all of you, though you have been meeting so often. That is my feeling. And so many hidden talents and great passion. I am just amazed. All these days, I thought that I am doing something else, but I think what I am doing is very, very little compared to what you all are doing. Great, kudos. I am very, very happy and I feel inspired by listening to this. It was a fantastic program.
That's the idea. Inspire others. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All the participants, you have worked so hard. We have done a trial run also. I'll tell you, lot of work and lot of passion goes behind all these webinars. They're not just done on that day and you enjoy the show, but a lot of hard work goes behind it. I must congratulate Dr. Jaka for all the hard work and all the participants. Thank you very much. Thanks. And KSCASI is really shining. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Everyone, good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.